thunder of jets in an open sky, a streak of gray, and a cheerful...
A loop, a whirl, and a vertical climb, and once again you'll know it's time for the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and friends.
Starring that supersonic speedster, Rocket J. Squirrel, with his pal Bullwinkle the Moose, and a host of others.
Hurry, Bullwinkle! The show's about to start!
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Wave to the people!
Yay!
Now what are you doing?
Signing autographs. Let's see. John Smith.
But your name is Bullwinkle.
I know, but that's hard to spell.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Come on and join us.
Sure, there's always room for one more.
While in the search for the box-top badman, our friend Bullwinkle is pavement-bound in a hurry, for Boris Badenov, disguised as a detective, has thrown him a rope and failed to fasten the other end of it.
I knew I forgot something.
Hokey Smoke, I gotta save him.
And Rocky the plucky flying squirrel plunged downward after his friend. He seized the end of the rope, shot past Bullwinkle, and fastened it to a projecting flagpole. When Bullwinkle reached the end of his rope, the flagpole bent like a fishing rod, then straightened out and snapped him up again right into the window of the World Economic Council, where a meeting was in progress.
What is the next item on the agenda?
I'm not sure, but I think it's me.
On the floor above, Boris was still congratulating himself on the end of Bullwinkle.
Oh, Boris, you are a sly rogue. If you do say so yourself. You were born to be kissed.
But just then, Fiduciary Blurt poked his head into the room.
Oh, Mr. Soames, he's safe. The moose is safe. Of course he's safe. When I do job, I do safe. Well, Natasha, look what you done now.
Not me, darling. Look there.
Wait for me, Bullwinkle. I'll be right up.
Raskolnikov is that idiot squirrel again.
Once more he is hero.
Well, if he is hero, we should give him flowers, right?
Right.
Well, let's do it. Congratulations, little fellow.
Thanks, Mr. Soames.
And to show my appreciation, here is high-class potted palm.
But...
No, don't thank me. It's the least I can do.
And the heavy pot whistled down through the air. Things looked black for our hero. And this might have been the last episode, except that Bullwinkle chose that moment to stick his head out of the window.
Say, Rock, we're up. Oh.
Bullwinkle, are you all right?
Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, a palm tree just fell on your head.
Oh, is that all? I thought I had a bad case of the green leafy antlers.
In just a moment, Rocky and Bullwinkle were in the corridors of the council building speaking with Fiduciary Blurt.
Well, gentlemen, you'll never find the box-top counterfeiters at this rate.
But I'm sure they're storing their box tops right in this building.
Why?
Because it's the last place anybody with brains would look for them.
That's why we're looking here first.
You hear that, Boris?
I'm not deaf, Natasha. Dumb, maybe, but not deaf. Come on.
Ah, it's our chief security officer, Hemlock Soames.
And his assistant, Dr. Watkins.
What have you deduced about this case, Mr. Soames?
Simple, old chappie. He's obviously work of criminal mastermind.
Is that Criminal J Mastermind?
No, he means it's some mysterious big shot, Bullwinkle.
Oh.
Then we must be on the lookout for an arch-fiend.
Is that...
No, it's not Arch-J-Fiend.
Just asking.
I still think he has his phony box top somewhere in this building.
Such imagination, eh, Dr. Watkins?
But Hemlock, old bean, that's where...
Shut your English dialect mouth, Dr. Watkins.
But we've already searched this building from top to bottom.
Then for a change, let's search it from bottom to top.
We'll go clear down to the basement and start all over again.
Right, Rock. Come on!
And Bullwinkle stalked off toward the elevators.
No, Archie, what's-his-name is gonna get the betterment of Bullwinkle Moose.
Oh, I do hope he doesn't try to use the elevator. That's out of order.
What?
If I know Bullwinkle, he will. Wait!
If you didn't done it yet, don't did it.
Too late, for Bullwinkle at that moment opened the door of the elevator and stepped right into an empty shaft.
Whoa!
Don't miss our next episode, Fall Story, or Adrift in the Lift.
And now it's time for...
Time for the dancing fool, Bullwinkle.
Again? And now for one of our special fairy tales.
Yeah.
You all remember the story of Sleeping Beauty? How as a baby she was put under a spell by a wicked fairy, how when she had grown up she pricked her finger with a needle and fell into a deep sleep from which she could be wakened only by a kiss. You remember, too, how a fence of thorns grew round the castle to prevent anybody from entering.
Anybody but me, that is.
And just who are you?
A prince, naturally. Don't you see the robes, the crown? You want to see my ID card?
Well, how do you propose to enter the castle?
Easy. I haul out my trusty broadsword and... They don't make broadswords like they used to.
The prince was distraught. What was he to do?
I'll show you. These they make like they used to.
The prince made straight for the tower room.
Sleeping Beauty, I've come at last. With one kiss, I shall waken you and... Wait a minute. Awake, she's just another princess. Asleep, she's a gold mine. I can see it now. Sleeping Beauty comics, Sleeping Beauty hats, Sleeping Beauty bubble gum, and biggest of all, Sleeping Beauty Land.
Sure enough, the castle was soon made ready as a great tourist attraction. There was Moat Land.
Have your X coupons ready, please. Have your X coupons ready.
There was Entrance Hall Land.
Y coupons, please.
There was Stair Land.
That's a Z coupon, folks. A Z coupon.
And, of course, Sleeping Beauty herself. Sleeping Beauty Land was clearly a great success.
1,000,001, 1,000,002. Sorry, the castle's closed till 8 a.m.
Hold it, Junior. I'm Yolanda, the wicked fairy that put Sleeping Beauty to sleep.
Well, that calls for some free coupon books.
Books, Nook, I want half of this whole setup, or else.
Else what?
Else I use my magic powers to wake her up.
Well, now, we can't have that, can we, partner? And you are my partner, and a charming one at that. Now, wouldn't you like to see some of our Sleeping Beauty Land?
Why not?
Just step this way to Dungeon Land.
My, this is spooky.
Well, it's very popular. Some people stay here for a long, long time.
How does it work?
Well, I put these around your wrist, you see?
Yes?
Then I leave. Well, have a good time. I'll see you in a couple of years, kid.
So, once again, the prince was in business for himself.
1,064,000, 1,065,000.
Hiya, honey.
You're back. You broke the chains.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to.
Well, partner, how about trying our special submarine ride?
Keen.
The cement is just a safety precaution. The city makes us do it.
I like the way it squishes between my toes.
It's quick drying, too. There. Not squishy now, is it?
If I like this one, can I go again?
I'm afraid not. It's more of a one-way ride.
So the prince was once more without a partner.
4,002,000, 4,003,000.
Hello, I'm back. That ride was more fun, especially that first part.
But...
Imagine half of all this is mine.
Yes, including the souvenir sales.
Souvenirs? How much do they sell for?
Well, this one is 75 cents. This one is $1. The Sleeping Beauty cowboy lasso is only $1.69. Now, let's see. Carry the 4 and... Say, you're in luck, little lady.
I am.
You betcha. You also get the official Sleeping Beauty Land moon rocket as a bonus gift.
Goody. I've always wanted a rocket.
And the clever prince had apparently solved his problem. But soon he had another one. For the next morning, the crowds outside the castle were smaller, and the next day, smaller still. Clearly, Sleeping Beauty was a slipping beauty. And the prince was very sad indeed. Then, suddenly...
Hi, sweetie, I'm back. And was that ever a ride?
Well, you can have the whole thing back now, Toots. Sleeping Beauty Land is a flop.
Now, wait a minute. She's been asleep for 20 years, right?
Right.
Maybe people would pay money to talk to somebody who's been asleep for 20 years.
You mean...
Yes, we just wake her up.
We'll make a fortune. Go ahead and do it.
Who, me?
You put her to sleep, didn't you?
Well, frankly, no. I'm not really a wicked fairy. I'm just wicked.
But then how...
Easy. You kiss her. You're a prince, aren't you?
Well, not exactly. I never joined the union. I really make my living beating pigskins.
You mean...
Yes. I'm a hog flogger.
But just then a remarkable thing happened. Sleeping Beauty's eyes opened, and she sat up.
Don't worry, kids. I wasn't really asleep.
Then why the big 20-year act?
I just wanted to see if I could make it in showbiz.
Hello there, I am Mr. Know-It-All. Today, for all you golf addicts who are having father-in-law trouble, I am going to show you how to shoot par. Arriving at the golf course, we seek out the services of a caddy, preferably a big, strong one.
Hi!
Or a little weak one, as the case may be. First, I shall demonstrate the neophyte golfer's worst habit. Hand me my driver, caddy.
Yes, sir.
Now hand me a cup of tea.
Cup of tea? What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to tee off. That done, we now hit the ball.
Gee, you missed.
I know, which proves you should never drink when you drive. Having finally hit the ball, we discover it has landed in some thick woods. Therefore, I choose an iron for my next club.
Here you are, Mr. Know-It-All.
That isn't an iron, you silly caddy. This is an iron. The iron will not only flatten out your swing, it also flattens the golfer, or golfee.
Uh-oh. Tough luck, Mr. Know-It-All. It went right into the sand trap.
The only effective way to get the ball out of a sand trap is by blasting.
Mr.
What do you know? A hole in one. One moose, that is. Buenos dias, caddy.
Where are you going, Mr. Know-It-All?
I'm going to play in a tournament down in Tijuana.
Tijuana? I never heard of a tournament down there.
Oh, come now. Everybody's heard of the Gulf of Mexico.
In the northern region of Canada, at the close of the 19th century, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police held fast to their tradition of, we always get our man. Bleak, cold, lonely. Not a pretty place for a high-spirited girl like Nell Fenwick, daughter of Inspector Fenwick, commander of the post.
You, Dudley Do-Right's horse, are the only one who understands me. You know the longing, the boredom. If only once the Mounties would not get their man. If only once Dudley Do-Right would do wrong like some other men do. I need bright lights, laughter, gaiety. What I'm saying, horse, is that I want to go into show business.
But, Nell, you know how your father feels about show business.
Oh, why don't you go out and bring in a man or something?
Very well.
Realizing that her father would never allow her to go into show business, Nell put on a mask and left the camp.
All right. Where the Wheel of Fortune stops, nobody knows. Next contestant, please. Name, please.
I am the masked Jenny Lynn.
Go ahead, Miss Lynn. Rather unusual voice quality, boss.
I'll say this is our chance to go straight again. Look, they're all sound asleep.
Keen. You have just won the Major Snidely Amateur Hour. You get the grand tour with all expenses paid.
It's the masked Jenny
So Snidely with his masked Jenny Lynn swept the country. No town escaped the ruthless masked singer.
I really knocked him out in Toronto, eh?
Meanwhile, a man from one of the ravished towns wandered into the mounted police camp.
And, Inspector, you should hear this masked Jenny Lynn. Hoo-wee!
Pretty square, eh?
Like the squarest.
Don't worry. As you know, the Canadian Mounties always get their man. You see, here comes a mountain now.
Nell! I did as you said. I got my man.
Dudley, how many times have I got to tell you? This is a dog. This is a man.
Oh, all right. You're under arrest.
No, not this man. Oh, well, never mind.
This is about the squarest Mountie I've ever seen.
That's right, sir. Square shooting Dudley Do-Right at your service.
Dudley, how do you feel about Lawrence Welk?
Only terrific, Inspector. That's real toe-tapping music.
I thought so. Dudley, I have a little job for you. You are the only Mountie square enough to carry it off.
That's me, Inspector. Square and true, eyes of blue.
I want you to bring in the masked Jenny Lynn. And I know you can do it because...
Ta-da!
The Mounties always get their men.
But this is a woman, sir.
Go, Do-Right.
And so one night in Saskatchewan...
Snidely, there's a Mountie out there in the audience.
A Mountie, huh? Listen, baby, I want you to go out there and sing like you have never sung before. This will put him to sleep. Did you put in the cotton, Barney?
Yeah.
Okay, then draw the curtain.
Oh, sing it, baby. Mama's little baby love, shortening. Oh, do-do-do-do-do-do.
Snidely, he ain't sleeping.
Well, then what's he doing?
He's enjoying it.
Oh, turn out the lights and call the law right now. Do-de-do-do-do-do-do. Miss Lynn, I certainly do enjoy your singing, but, well, you see, I am a Mountie, square and true, so I really must...
Dudley, I thought I told you to go bring in a man.
Nell, then you're the masked Jenny Lynn.
Surprise.
So Dudley brought Nell, Snidely, and Barney back to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Camp.
Well, Dudley, you finally did it. You brought in your man. Snidely Whiplash, the most wanted man in the territory of this glorious nation. But tell me, where's the masked Jenny Lynn?
Inspector, just wait till you hear her sing. She's a little old Florence Nightingale, that's what. And here she is, your own daughter, Nell.
Nell? I knew there was something missing around here. You mean, Nell, it was you?
You know, Father, how you've always held me back. Well, I got my break at last. I'm in showbiz. I'm a star. Just listen. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, sing that thing. Shortening. Mama's little baby love shortening. Mama's little baby love shortening bread. Sorry.
Last time, you remember, the intrepid Bullwinkle started off to find the box-top bad man, and as his first step, walked right into an abandoned elevator shaft.
Whoa! There he goes again.
Again? Does this happen often?
Yeah, but not twice in one day. Courage, Bullwinkle, I'll save you.
That's mighty thoughty of you, Rock.
Bullwinkle, you didn't fall down the elevator shaft.
Was I supposed to?
Isn't the shaft empty?
No, but watch out for that first step. They ought to put up a sign.
Well, what are you standing on?
Oh, nothing much. Just a mess of box tops.
Box tops? Bullwinkle, you've discovered the hiding place.
Where?
Right there.
Sure enough, that abandoned elevator shaft was the hiding place for millions of counterfeit box tops. They were stacked from the basement almost to the top floor.
Marvelous. A remarkable job of detection, Mr. Squirrel.
Thanks, Mr. Blurt. Wait. Hey, what's happening to Bullwinkle?
Sure enough, as they watched, Bullwinkle seemed to drop lower and lower in the shaft.
Good heavens, he's shrinking.
Nonsense. Who ever heard of a midget move?
It is kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Sure.
But how come my head is bending low?
Somebody must be pulling box tops off the bottom of the pile.
Indeed, somebody was. For down in the basement, Boris and Natasha were shoveling counterfeit box tops into a huge truck as fast as they could.
Boris, darling, I thought this hiding place was foolproof.
Foolproof, yes. Idiot-proof, no.
You got plan, darling?
I always got plan. They don't ever work, but I always got one.
What is this one?
Wait till Squirrel shows up and I tell you.
How you know he'll show up?
You offer you lovely chump, Natasha? I bet right now he's saying, Hockey smog Bullwinkle. I better go down
and see who's at the bottom of all this.
Wait up, Brock. I'll come with you.
And entering the next elevator, Rocky and Bullwinkle started down to the basement.
See, Natasha, here they come now.
All right, darling. Now what's the plan?
You're taking notes?
Of course, darling.
Very well, write this down. Into elevator shaft A, I place can of TNTB. When elevator hits plunger C, it blows up like D.
And where are we when it happens?
Where else? OUT. Come on.
And the two villains leaped into their truck and sped off into the night.
You think this plan will work, Boris?
Well, there's a first time for everything, Natasha.
And it looked as if this were Boris's lucky day, for at that moment the elevator came down the shaft A toward the explosive B, it struck the plunger C, and the TNT went off like D. But the result was a little different than Boris expected, for the explosion drove the elevator car up the shaft like a rocket.
That's funny. I thought I pushed the down button.
With a crash, the car burst through the roof and zoomed into the air.
Look, up there, in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's an elevator.
And as the horrified populace watched, the elevator with our two friends aboard disappeared into the clouds.
Boy, they sure got a lot of floors in this building.
I got a funny feeling we're not in a building, Bullwinkle.
Well, I'll just open the door and see. Uh-oh.
Gee, we must be 10,000 feet up.
I don't mind that. It's that 10,000 feet down.
And here we go.
Sure enough, the elevator car began to drop through space. Faster and faster it went.
What do we do, Bullwinkle?
How about pushing the up button?
No, we gotta think.
Rocky, this is no time to take up a new hobby.
And the car plummeted unchecked toward the earth below. Don't miss our next episode, The Ground Floor, or That's Me All Over.
Well, it looks as if our time is just about run out.
Mine must be a little slow.
You got the credits, Bullwinkle?
All on this itty-bitty card. Oop.
We're late again, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Bye now. See you next time.